Hello guys, welcome to my review of HP Omen 15 2020. After using it for more than a month now, I have tested it with real world use cases, so let's see how it does. Talking about the specifications of the laptop comes with AMD Ryzen 7 4800H CPU. It has 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB NVMe SSD, an RTX 2060 GPU, TDP of 100 watt, and an excellent display with 144Hz refresh rate and a 71 watt hour battery. So talking about the build quality, I really like the new look. It's very minimalistic and doesn't have any gamery accent like older generation Omen laptops. The lid is made up of good quality plastic, and yes, there is some screen wobble, but it's very minimal. I didn't even notice it while using the laptop. The whole keyboard deck and the palm rest is made up of metal, and both keyboard deck and the palm rest was never hard to touch even after longer gaming session. Many people concerned about the screen flex of the laptop, and yes, there is flex, but that's not a deal breaker for me. As you can see, you really have to keep some force to make it flex, and it won't break because it is a plastic screen, not a glass screen like MacBook Pro, which can break on flex. It won't be an issue even while traveling. The only thing I'm concerned about laptop longevity is the hinge, and in the Omen, the hinge is really good. It is made up of metal, so it won't break easily, and it is rigid and stiff enough to last longer. The gap causing the flex is not a design flaw. It's there to keep the laptop cool, especially when you use external monitor and use the laptop in clamshell mode. The hot air can escape through the gap, and also normally when you game for longer sessions and immediately shut down the laptop and close the lid, the hot air can't escape and goes back into the laptop, which can cause more damage. But with this gap, the hot air can easily escape. The keyboard is a standard layout which doesn't have numpad, so that makes bigger key space for the arrow keys, which really feels good while gaming. This model has a 4-zone RGB lighting. It is a static, doesn't have extra animations, but I really like the uniformity of the backlight coming from the keyboard. Even at dark, it was really comfortable to use the keyboard. Talking about the typing, it's good, but not fantastic. I mean, there is some travel distance, it has some tactile, but a little bit more on the mushier side, but still, it does the job. The trackpad is big, and I really like using it. It is smooth enough, it has enough resistance, all Windows drivers works well. It is clickable, but a bit on the softer side. Talking about the display, I really liked it. The colors are good, the contrast is nice, and the display is very bright. I haven't faced any issue while using it outdoor. The refresh rate is 144Hz, the response time is 7 milliseconds, and I haven't faced any screen ghosting or screen tearing while playing fast-paced games. The animations, the transitions all look very smooth. The display also supports FreeSync, which reduces screen tearing. So it's good for streaming movies, it's good for gaming, and even for content creation. You just can't go wrong with the display. Talking about the ports of the laptop, on the left side we have a power port, Ethernet port, USB 3.1 port, HDMI port, a headphone jack, and an SD card reader. And on the right side we have a USB Type-C port, Kensington lock, and two USB 3.1 ports. The laptop has excellent ventilation, which really helps in cooling the laptop. But my only nitpick here is that due to the large vents, it is more prone to attract dust. So frequent cleaning is necessary. Talking about the thermals and benchmarking, HP provides Omen Command Center for tweaking the performance levels of the laptop. There are three profiles. Comfort mode is for casual work like browsing and streaming. It basically decreases the performance of the laptop in order to decrease the temperatures. Fans also ramps up occasionally to decrease the temperature. So it basically provides comfort to the laptop, not to your ears. Default profile can be used for any sort of work. The CPU performance will be increased to the max level, but the GPU will be capped at 80 watt and fan noise is really low in default mode. You can't even hear the fan noise. Performance profile is for heavy work and gaming. CPU performs same as the default mode, but now GPU is boosted to 100 watt, which increases the gaming performances and also increases temperatures. So the fans spin at 70% in auto mode. I prefer this mode for gaming. You can also set the fan noise to max level, which is not that much loud compared to Helios 300. For CPU benchmarking, I was running Cinebench R20, for which I got a score about 4350. That's a great score. I mean, there is no competition for AMD in multi-core performances, and even the temps are fine while running Cinebench R20. Max temp was 80 degrees, but the average was around 70 degrees. For GPU benchmarking, I used Heaven Benchmark. The presetting was at high quality, for which I got a score about 3920. And the temps were pretty fine. The max temp was 60 degrees, the average temp was 56 degrees. I have done only CPU stress test. The max temp was 100 degrees just for a fraction of a second, and it immediately went back to mid 80s. The average temp was around 84 degrees. I have done both CPU and GPU stress test, which is really a heavy load on the laptop, and the maximum temp reached 105 degrees just for a fraction of a second, and it immediately went back to 90 degrees. Even at 105 there was no thermal throttling, no overheating of the laptop. The laptop really done a great work at this much heavy load, and the average temp was 90 degrees, so that's pretty fine. So, while playing Fortnite with all epic settings and RTX and DLSS is turned on, I'm getting around 45 FPS. The gameplay is pretty smooth and there is no slutters. Even the temps are around 75, so that's great. With RTX on, you can identify the differences, but since Fortnite has a cartoonistic style of graphics, you have to really search for the details. I mean, RTX improves the shadows, the reflections, and overall it improves the game quality. But you get lower FPS for that. But it's your preference, your interest. If you want quality or FPS, you can play with RTX on, and it does pretty well. flying control with all graphics set to high, and I even turned on DLSS and set RTX to all high settings, and I'm getting around 60 FPS. So that's great. Getting 60 FPS with RTX on is good. It's really playable. As you can see, even after longer gaming sessions, CPU hardly crossed 90 degrees and the average was always around 78. And even the GPU, it never even crossed 72 degrees. That's really fantastic. The laptop never felt hot to touch. I'm really impressed with the battery performance of the laptop. I got 9 hours of Netflix streaming, 8 hours of my casual work like browsing and coding, and 5 hours of continuous DaVinci Resolve usage, which is really great for a gaming laptop. My final verdict: this laptop is a true beast. The build quality is solid, performance is excellent, thermally on point, and even the battery is excellent. But that said, no laptop is perfect. There are cons like slight flex and fans may attract dust, but the pros outweigh the cons easily. I'm extremely satisfied with the performance of the laptop. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any queries about the laptop or want another video about gaming, thermals and fan noise, leave a comment below. Hit the like button if you like the video.